Flawless victory.
Yeah. Thought you was riding. Thought you was 10 toes down. The second something shiny came, you folded. It's cool though. You just told me how to move. Watch this. Used to think we was a unit, thought the back was covered. Thought you was my dog, man, thought you was my brother. Smiling in my face, shit, you really played a part. Acting like you with me, had me giving you my heart. But the loyalty was passing, man, that shit was see-through. Waiting for your moment, that's what fake ones be do. Soon as opportunity came knocking on the door, you ain't even hesitate, you just went and asked for more. You ain't look back once, you went your own way. Show me who you were, man, I got nothing left to say. I ain't mad, I ain't bitter, ain't no salt to spill. You just lit a fire, man, you just made the focus real. This a full court pressing, I ain't letting up. Put myself first, I'm filling my own cup. No empathy, no sympathy, I'm on my purpose. Y'all just flaky people, man, you make me nervous. This a full court pressing, I am all out focused. You ain't on my team, then you just a locust. I ain't mad, I'm motivated, time to run a score. Yeah, I'm locked in, man, I'm kicking down the door. You thought that burn would stop me, man, you got it backwards. You just gave me fuel, man, I'm moving only faster. I ain't got no time for what a flaky person says. I am on a mission, you are in my way. I'm cutting off the dead weight, I don't care who suffers. If you ain't with vision, then you're undercovers. Sleeping on the grind, I am wide awake. Every year you hitting me, just taught me what to take. And I'm taking everything I am putting first. All that fake love, man, it was a damn curse. Now the curse is broken, now I see the path. You just woke the monster, you can do the math. Yeah, this a full court press it, I ain't letting up. Put myself first, I'm filling my own cup. No empathy, no sympathy, I'm on my purpose. Y'all just flaky people, man, you make me nervous. This a full court press it, I am all out focused. Who ain't in my team, then you're just a locust. I ain't mad, I'm motivated, time to run the score. Yeah, I'm locked in, man, I'm kicking down the door. So I don't look around, I just look ahead. Every promise that I made to myself is fed. All focus, all gas, I ain't gotta brag. I don't care about your feelings or your new mistake. You made your choice, and now I'm making mine. My purpose is the only thing I see. I'm on the line, you are just a ghost, man, a lesson that I learned. Thanks for showing me that my own back is all I earn. So I'm holding it down, I'm the one I trust. Turning all the betrayal right in the dust. Watch me build an empire while you watch me from the side. Should've stayed down, man, you should've learned to ride. Full court present. All focus, all out. No sympathy. Yeah. Locked in. Purpose.
Welcome. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Sunday afternoon? It is Sunday, June 28th, 2026. 2 days left in June already? Can you believe that?
Are you ready?
We are rocking and rolling. We are getting the show on the road. We are almost in 2027. Can you believe that? It feels like the year has just started. I don't know if AI is a force multiplier in time, but time feels like it's zooming by. Don't have enough time to get all the things that you want done. We have to prepare. We have to make some type of way to get things done because time is just moving. So shout out to all of you guys out there who are on this journey with me. I'm Tico Trough. We are engineered to win. How is everyone doing today? How are you doing today? By the way, we had the most amazing vibe code and chill session yesterday. I had Junior on, I had Gabe on, I had Life Lessons on, and Everybody shared some amazing, amazing insight in what they're working on, what progress that they're making, how they're coming up with these ideas. It was a ball. It was a grand old time. I really, really hope to see you guys in future vibe coding shows. I do make them available maybe a couple of days, couple of weeks after the last session. So if you want to go back and watch it, they're about 2 hours long, but so much good information, so many good questions coming out of it. It is the place to be, and it is the opportunity for you to practice your presentation skills. If you need to learn how to share your ideas, how to market yourself, it is a great place to do that and get questions, feedback. People ask you questions about what you're working on. If you have questions about what I'm working on, what other people are working on, if you have career questions, how-to questions, whatever the case may be, that is the place to do it. So shout out to everyone who joined. Looking forward to having many more in the future. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and take care of a little bit of housekeeping real quick. So first and foremost, shout out to all of the subscribers to the channel. Really appreciate you guys for helping the channel grow, allowing me to add value into your life as we go on this tech journey. How do we learn? How do we pivot? How do we adjust? How do we intake this information so that we can be in the best position to win? Shout out to my tech barbarians. As I mentioned, we had a vibe coding show yesterday. I had some coaching calls yesterday. We are just working day in and day out, always trying to make ourselves better. So shout out to every tech barbarian out there. Continue to run it up, continue to do the work. Shout out to my Tech Mercenaries YouTube channel members who keep this channel running and growing and reaching people across the entire world. I want to put out this tech content. I want to learn with you. I want to grow with you. So let's continue to do it together. So shout out to every last one of you. I really, really appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Tomorrow, Candid Conversation, I'm going to be talking about failure. Based on a conversation that I had with a friend. We got into talking about our kids and like, my child, like they get so worked up if they get anything less than 100. And I'm like, you know what? I noticed that when my child is trying to put make some type of makeshift bridge and then it's not working, it's not staying, he starts to get really, really upset. So I was talking about, how do we introduce failure to our kids, to ourselves, so that we don't end up trying to become perfectionists. And a lot of times perfectionists are afraid to take risks, which is not going to get us any progress. So I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow, Candid Conversation. Definitely want to tune in. Curious to hear your thoughts about how you put yourself in environments to fail. How do you put yourself in, or are you a perfectionist and it's something that you're trying to work through so that you can have more and more opportunity? So that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. I'm going to be back live again on Tuesday night, working on some Scrum work that we have for the Tech Barbarians as we wrap up this sprint that we're in. We're going to have our software explorations on Wednesday, which it's going to be about GitHub, and a leader, one of the tech leaders from GitHub, how they built automation to make them work better. People are saying, AI is going to take away our jobs, but this person actually made it work for them. So I was really excited to review that. So you get my thoughts in real time as we go through it, which I'm also asking you for your thoughts, for your feedback. And then Thursday, live again. Friday, the bug bite. We're going to be reviewing Anthropic's ban by the federal government and how do we adjust, how do we pivot as tech people, because if these governments can just take away models from us, what can we do? How do we adjust? So, and we are going to be a part of that video. We're going to be reviewing from CNBC, Deidre Boza, one of our favorites here on this channel, on her take on this whole model regulation, things like that. So tune in this week. We're going to have an amazing, amazing time. Looking forward to hanging out with you every single day this week, whether we're live or whether we are doing a video like dropping videos during the week. All right. So looking forward to seeing you there. Keep in mind, we do have our clips that we drop during the week as well. So much content for us to take in so that we can be well-tuned, well-versed with this, with our development. Because I'll tell you this, a lot of people who work in tech, they don't stay up to date with the tech news. So they might be very, very focused on the stuff that they're working on for their companies, for their business, whatever, but they don't know what's going on around them. So that's why I always like to see, okay, to review these CNBC articles or videos, to review these articles, see how are these people working? What is going on at Amazon? That way we are well versed so that we know how to adjust, how to pivot. What is Meta working on? What is Apple working on? Instead of finding out after, and now we have to pivot when it's too late. So that is our goal on this channel, to always stay up to date with tech news, technology, different applications that are coming out, so that we can be one of the industry leaders, right? So that is the plan. All right, with that being said, we are going to jump into the show. Basically, we're going to do taking over from last week when we were working on trying to add the MCP server for Jira, which turns out worked with Codex. All right, surprisingly worked with, I shouldn't say surprisingly, because OpenAI is good, but I had my first time using Codex. We're able to connect to Jira's MCP. We're able to do it with Claude, but with Gemini CLI, it was a massive failure. Weird, right? But also today we're going to be reviewing Slate's modular EV, modular electric vehicle. And would you get one of those? We're going to be reviewing Amazon's Prime Day robotics, how they got set up for Prime Day, and cybersecurity and AI and social media, all of that good stuff. So we're going to start off with the Prime Day robotics. All right, so let's jump into the show. I am curious to hear your thoughts on how Amazon handled. I don't know if they did this in years prior, but with the influx of AI, with Prime Day people buying the stuff that they don't need, probably. Let's jump into it.
Amazon's Prime Day event kicking off, and Fox Business is getting an inside look at how AI-powered robots are transforming the company's operations. Lauren Simone is at an Amazon robotics lab in Massachusetts with more. Hey, Lauren.
Dagan, I am at the robotics lab where Amazon designs and builds every single robot it uses in its warehouses worldwide. Okay, this is Sparrow. It's heavy. It has 7 fingers here that can attach to and move 80% of the items that Amazon sells. I say 80% because it doesn't have a thumb yet, so we're stuck at 80%, not at 100 yet. What this does, it attaches to that yellow elephant trunk looking arm over there and uses AI machine vision to identify the object, suction it up, and then sort it into the appropriate bin. Other autonomous bots like Proteus scan the warehouse floors, carrying 900 pounds on their backs, taking items to delivery docks to go onto the trucks. In all, Amazon employs 1 million robots like these and is investing $1 billion in its employees to upskill them to manage the bots. Listen.
Did she just say 900 pounds on the back of that little robot? Hold on, I gotta go back a little bit. That is wild.
Taking items to delivery docks to go onto the trucks. Bots like Proteus scan the warehouse floors, carrying 900 pounds on their backs, taking items to delivery docks to go onto the trucks.
How does that little thing carry 900 pounds? That is wild.
Amazon employs 1 million robots like these and is investing $1 billion in its employees to upskill them to manage the bots. Listen.
Did you just hear that part? Oh, let's go back one more. Amazon is investing, did they say $1 billion into their employees to how to use the bots? It goes back to it over and over and over again. See, they could have had people, just pushing these robots pushing these 900-pound bins from one spot to the other, maybe a forklift driver or something like that. But they said, you know what? No. We want to work smarter. So what about if we train our employees how to control, how to use these robots, how to maintain them? And now we put them in a much better position. As an employee, you get a new skill, so that it's transferable, instead of like, I can just push this thing from one spot to the other, and oh, God forbid this thing falls on my foot and now I lost my foot. No.
Dollars in its employees to upskill them, go onto the trucks. In all, Amazon employs 1 million robots like these and is investing $1 billion in its
$1 billion investment by Amazon into its employees. And people love to hate Amazon, but is the college investing $1 billion into its employees in order to make them more knowledgeable? Like you have to pay the college to go and get some makeshift education, which may or may not be applicable to the workforce, while Amazon is investing $1 billion into its employees in order to be able to control and maintain these robots.
Employees to upskill them to manage the bots. Listen.
We have over 700,000 people that we have upskilled since we've started focusing on our robots, and that allows our employees to evolve their skill set to complement the advancement of technology.
They need maintenance like your car does. They need technicians like you would for your car. It helps them train and develop the job skills that they need to fix robots and get them back into the fleet.
And one of the employees that we spoke to, guys, said he quadrupled his salary by going through that training. So what kind of feels like robot mayhem, the robots are taking over, is really very organized. It's a machine that uses AI on Prime Day to help you find the item that you want to order, actually buy it, and then they use AI and robots to get that item to your doorstep, sometimes in minutes. Back to you.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Lauren, from Westboro, Massachusetts. Who wants it?
I'll say before the panel gets into it, how did you think that Amazon was going to continue to work so fast? Because you know what's so funny? You know what's so funny? Before we get into the panel, right? I would hear people like over and over and over again who would say that Amazon, their work conditions are so bad and they mistreat their employees, blah 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 blah, right? Number one, I always say that these people would choose to work for these companies, but as the consumer, when you go to buy something off Amazon, right? Are you looking to see when is as soon as I can get this, especially if you're a Prime customer? Like if the thing costs like $22.99 and you can get it in the next, between the next 4 or 5 hours. So do you go and look for something that's $5 so that you can get that, because you don't want to pay the $2.99 for shipping to get it within the same day. But if I can find something that I need for about $3 to $4, I'll add that in order to get my item the same day. But the thing is, by you getting your item the same day, now you can get it within the next 3 hours for like $5. By you doing that, by you wanting that speed of service, you put pressure on the actual Amazon employees. So now they have to scramble, they have to jump and to get your item out in a reasonable amount of time. Because when Amazon first started offering Prime, we thought 2 days was that's like 2 days. Gee whiz! Now we can get it into like I've gotten orders within like an hour and a half, but that puts stress on the employees. But then we're also like, oh, Amazon does this to their employees. So now when Amazon introduces these robots to help facilitate, so to help the employees move faster. Now some people are going to say, oh, that's not right. This is replacing jobs. We just heard somebody say that this is like somebody tripled or quadrupled their salary, which now, if you're making like $10 an hour, now you're making $40 an hour. I mean, that's a significant difference from 10, definitely. But if you're making but there's also a difference. If you're making 50K a year to 200K a year, it's a big jump. So when they say quadruple, triple, it varies based on what the base was. On the macro, it might be a small jump, but in the micro for the actual individual, whether it's a triple, quadruple is big for them. So, and the fact that they're able to do that by using this technology, that is a flawless victory.
Flawless victory.
So let's see what the panel thinks about
Because
this.
I'm just going to sit here and complain about Amazon.
I'll
And I
take
just
the
don't-
opposite.
Right, okay.
I love it. I love that they're incorporating technology and showing how their employees can use it and get raises because of it if they're using it. Plus, I mean, those things are pretty cool. I saw an automated garage. This is a little bit not on Amazon, but on technology. They were moving all of the cars up and over to get them out of the garage. Totally like no one was doing it. They were just moving all these platforms. Incredible engineering, and I love it.
Amazon also is expected to cash in big this Prime Week. One projection says that shoppers are going to dish out $26 billion, up 9% from a year ago, and retail rivals want a piece. Walmart, Target, others slashing prices, rolling out dealios of their own to compete for customers.
Can I get in here?
Yeah.
So the 26 billion is projected up 9% from last year. And this is the thing, when we talk about consumer sentiment and consumer sentiment numbers not being great, and I'm pointing to Brian because he's on the same page with me here, I don't trust those estimates because of the people and the moods that they're in when they happen to get surveyed. I look at this and say, Prime Day is coming and people are spending, and those other retailers want to get in on the action, and they'll probably be discounting too. And corporate earnings have been strong. So when you see this all flowing down to the bottom line, that tells me the consumer is very much alive and well. And again, back to your Meta glasses, was it?
Yeah.
For $299.
Yes.
You know, you're complaining about gas prices and inflation on one hand, although the same people complaining about it were never saying anything when inflation was 9% under Joe Biden. But somebody's going out and buying all this stuff. You know,
We're still buying stuff.
the narrative within the media doesn't make sense based on the numbers.
We use the Jackie method for Prime Day.
Right.
This week.
Oh, you put stuff in your cart.
Put some bistro chairs in the cart, a bronze color bistro
From
chair.
Minnesota?
Yes, to see if we would get a deal on Prime Day. And as far as I can tell, I'm not good at this, I think we have a deal.
Nice.
Ooh,
A Prime
I
Day
got a deal on a 24-pack of crayons.
But, that's a big purchase for
Yeah.
you, a 24-pack of crayons. It's big.
Well, I bought
It's $5.
This goes to show two things on sentiment. A lot of those surveys on consumer sentiment, look how they model it.
Yeah.
Very heavy Democrats.
Yeah,
No surprise.
exactly.
And in terms of shopping, yes, people look for bargains. Sam Walton, you can see it out in Bentonville. Here they got him in a holograph. He says, if I buy something for 80 and sell it for 120, that's nice. But if I charge only 100 or 90, I'll sell more and make more. And so volume, gin that up. And by the way, it's like cutting taxes. Lower the rates, you get more.
Oh, Steve, you always got to sneak that. Can I just add one thing? I think, people can debate like big retailers, do they like them and so forth.
You really have eBay up there? People are, I don't know. I haven't shopped. Maybe last year I shopped on eBay. I'm surprised eBay is still surviving. Maybe it's booming. I don't know, but I don't know. I haven't really heard much people talk about eBay lately.
But one thing about the World Cup is all these people have come here and they're all infatuated by our abundance. Like how many things you can get in one place and the variety and the choice. And I just think that's interesting because we take that for granted. We walk into a big store and it's like I've got 75 different deodorants, which Bernie Sanders famously didn't like. But actually the rest of the world comes here and says, that's incredible. I can't believe
Well, you hit on something very important that the economic statistics don't get, and that is our standard of living is far higher than it is in Europe. A typical house here, what you can buy here, far better than what you get in Europe. So let the Eurocentrics say, oh, we've got it great over there. All right, stay there. But those who come here, wow, this is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Buc-ee's.
Have you heard about the heat waves happening in Europe as well? Like I saw a clip this morning talking about they're like either they're not allowed to have air conditioning, like to buy those little portable air conditioning units, and it is hot. Imagine running a nursing home or like if you have a kid or a daycare and they're like burning up over there. Oof. And I know some people who work in the UK, and they're like, it is hot. It is hot as hell, literally.
And they're getting us to exercise again, rowing.
They're rowing. That's good for you, Steve.
Good.
Do it.
Yeah.
when Lauren was doing that hit, somebody texted me and said, ask about the automation that Amazon uses to track its workers. If you're working on the line, they track every movement in terms of it's called time off task. When a worker scans an item, a timer starts counting and tracking the seconds until you pick up or stow the next item. That basically you're being spied on constantly if you work.
That goes back 120 years with the.
All right, that's Dagan McDowell. I'm gonna call her Dagan Downer. Do you guys? All right, so if you go to apply for Amazon, right, and you want to work on the line, work in the warehouse, and they say, all right, part of the conditions is we're going to be tracking how fast that you work, and to make sure that you're getting things moving, like, because look, we're paying you to do a job, and you say, okay, I'm going to accept that job. Are they spying on you, or are they just making sure that you're being productive, that they're getting their money's worth? Because guess what? Nobody has to accept that. You do not have to accept that Amazon is going to be tracking how fast and how productive you're being. You want to know how? By not taking the job. So to me, I have no problem with it. If a company, like when the companies are like tracking like token usage, now are they always the most of like? If a company is looking at, how many pull requests you open, how much code you push, is that the most effective? No. But if they want to do that and you accepted the terms and conditions, and let's say they even introduce it after the fact, and you don't like it, you're not with it. If you don't want to use AI and the company say, you have to use AI, and you're not with it, you don't have to. You do not have to. But you also don't have to work for that company. You can pack it up and get out, because these are the tools that you're going to be using. If a company says, you have to use Microsoft, and you're like, I'm diabolically opposed to using Microsoft. It must be a Mac or Linux. I am not going to do it. They're like, all right, cool, then go. You can go. Like you are not forced to do anything that you don't want to do. This is the United States of America. The only thing that you are forced to do is pay taxes. And you're not even forced to do that. You are not even forced to do that, because you could not pay taxes and go to jail, right? Everything is a trade-off. It's a choice. So I'm not really buying the argument, because you're tracking employees. Hey, the employee chose to work at Amazon. If you have absolutely no experience, and I'm just like, we'll give you a job, we're going to track your performance. You're going to be like, I'm not going to do it. Okay, fine, then stay unemployed. So I think she's just trying to poop on Amazon.
Taylorism.
We're trying to do these motion
Used to
things,
do it with
showing how you make your factory more efficient. By the way, on robots, I have a son-in-law who has to go to San Francisco a lot. He takes a taxi, driverless taxi, every time. It works. We see him on video and say, what?
Yep.
And it's going to get better. And by the way, the ultimate robot will be able to change diapers. Good news for you.
Walk the dog.
And walk the dog, and be able to get patients out of a hospital bed seamlessly.
Love it.
There you go.
Love it.
I am not anti-automation or innovation, but I sure as hell think about my parents who were put out of business by Walmart and Sam's Club.
Everybody gets replaced, B or D. D in this case for Dagan. Everybody gets replaced. And you got to pivot. Because and even with the thing with like, a lot of these businesses got put out of work. Things happen, but guess what? You could, a possibility, if you had a small business and you see the tide is coming, pivot to offer something that Walmart doesn't offer. If you have a small store and you see a big box store is coming in, all right, sucks. But guess what? It's gonna happen. So you got to pivot. So what can I offer that Walmart is not able to offer? And although Walmart's price is going to be better than my price, although Sam's Club or Target, whatever, is going to be better than my price, what kind of service can I also include that's going to be unique? So wow, and that's going to keep me afloat. It's going to keep me afloat. So many different factors. But if you're just like, oh, I'm just going to keep my store, and now, oh, I'm going to cry because Walmart did this to me. That's on you. At the end of the day, that is on you. We always have to think ahead. Have to be innovative. Have to supplement ourselves. Never expect anyone to do anything for you or anyone to have favor for you, because at the end of the day, nobody cares about you. You have to care about yourself. You have to take care of yourself. Not any politician, not any city government. Honestly, not even your neighbor. They're going to care for you up until they have to care for themselves first. And that's the mentality that you need to have in your career, in your business, in your life. All right. No one is required to care about you. Let me know your thoughts. Am I off on this? What do you think about Amazon and their robotics for Prime Day? What do you think about that robot that can carry 900 pounds? That was wild. 900 pounds? That's wild. Impressive. Very impressive. Do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time I go live and drop new content. As well, go to techcoach.dev. Join us for our Vibe Coding Chills. Join us for our Scrum Nights. Get access to Resume Flow, Tech Reverence Coaching Portal, and the Speak Precisely app over at techcoachralph.dev. All right, let me go and check the chat to see what we got going on in the chat. We got my guy. So the question I had is Amazon taking advantage of labor by using robotics? I personally don't think so, but what do you think? We got my guy Magnetar in the building. Hits me with a Sith. Coach Ralph.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Shout out to Magnetar. Magnetar says, I would say use these to minimize workers' compensation claims. Exactly. Imagine how many people they have hurt their back trying to lift something, trying to push something. They hurt their foot, and now they're off of work. They have to go to the short claims court. You know what? I'm thinking about these insurance companies. Love automation, because imagine if you have this robot that is carrying around the heavy load. It makes it safer for the people who used to do this manual labor. So now they don't have to pay out in this workers' comp, in the short-term disabilities, long-term disabilities, all of those things. Makes it safer. Max is still learning Linux. Shout out to my guy Magnetar on his Linux expedition. And we got my guy, Rod Brown, in the building. What up, Rod Brown? How are you doing today? Meep. Rod Brown, I was waiting for you. So I was talking to Rod Brown on Discord, right? Shout out to the Discord. Join us on the Tech Coach Drop Discord as well. But I was talking to Rod Brown in the Discord. Oh, by the way, I am going to be revamping some stuff because not this week coming up, but the week after, I'm going to be out of town. So I'm going to be doing some work to revamp the Patreon, the Discord, so that we can have a lot of fun and a lot of information, a lot of education. Bring some more people in so that we can help each other grow. As my guy Junior always says, iron sharpens iron. But Rod Brown, I was waiting for you to say this. So I finally got the Amazon delivery that we're talking about, right? Because it was supposed to come yesterday, got delayed. Then it took a long time for them to go out for delivery today. But guess what? Guess what happened? Guess what the Amazon employee did, right? Guess what the Amazon employee did? And this is why automation happens, because automation would not get this wrong. They delivered it to the neighbor's house. And the funny thing is, I so appreciate this. This is one of the greatest things that Amazon invented or introduced, or whatever you want to call it. Pictures of the delivery. I think every single Amazon delivery should have a picture. And I think every single delivery. I think UPS started doing it too. I'm not sure about FedEx. USPS, they probably can't afford it, but they should do it too, because they are known for getting things wrong. But they delivered it, and I had the app open because it was like one, it tells you how many stops away. It was one stop away. and it updates delivered, and it has my neighbor's address. My neighbor's front door. I was like, that's not my front door. Had to walk over in the 94-degree heat to the neighbor's house to pick up my package. Luckily, it's like 10 feet away. But I was like, what is going on here? Amazon, what are you doing to me? First it was supposed to be yesterday, then you deliver it to my neighbor's house. Come on, Amazon. Come on, man. Maggie says, please pause the show. Rod, Spooky Stories Brown is here to scare us. I'm terrified. I am terrified. Magda says, you could remain unemployed, make no money, and not pay taxes that way. That's an option. That is an option. Magda says, wait, her parents were put out by Walmart and Sam's. That wasn't due to automation. Is that a false equivalency? I don't think she was talking about automation. I think she was just talking about she despises Sam's, Walmart, Costco, Target, Amazon because of what happened probably like 25, 30, 40 years ago when these big box stores started coming into play. Sears as well, and her parents did not properly plan, did not properly pivot. The same way when factories started going out of getting like out of place, and although past presidents and politicians might have outsourced their jobs and everything like that, people, they stayed reliant and dependent on the government, on these jobs, and say, all right, how can I start to adjust? Oh, there's a tech boom happening. How can I start strategizing? People don't strategize. People just expect the government to take care of them, and God knows that will never, ever happen. Robert says, can't stand these delivery drivers not knowing how to. Rod Brown, when they start to automate, when you start having, I'm not even sure how this would be done. How would you? Amazon driver is going to hate me for this, but how would you automate delivery? So because you already have, you can have an autonomous vehicle driving, and it goes to, but then at the same time, the video we dropped this morning about the Waymos getting stuck in the water. So, what about this, right? So what if, because there's a few ways you could do this. So let's say the truck or the delivery vehicle gets to where it's supposed to go, and it says, this is the house. And it has you know how Google Maps has a picture of the house? This is the house you have to deliver it to. And you can either have a humanoid get out there and take it, or similar to the 900-pound robot that carried the item, you can have that take it up to the front door. That does take some time though, because a human can just run over there, drop it off. But I do see having the delivery drivers not get it wrong. That is a key part. But I commend Amazon for adding the photos. You can't fault Amazon for what their human employees do, right? Delivering to the wrong address. So it says, did they drop back to pass and throw your package to? Look, I remember that there was a day that I had ordered something. It was about $300-400, right? And they left it right at the entrance. If it had rained, the whole thing would have messed up. It was like, right. I'm like, you normally put the package behind the door. They left it like, boom, right there. I'm like, well, I don't know. I digress. Anyways, enough of that. We got life lessons in the building. What up, Life Lessons? And I want to thank Life Lessons again for sharing, for joining us at Vibe Code and Chill yesterday and sharing 2 of the apps that he's working on. Amazing work, showing how and even showcasing how you use these tools: Claude, OpenAI, Codex, Claude Code, and building useful applications using tools like HeyGen. All of these things coming together to build useful applications. So and we're going to be having more vibe coding shows where life lessons, the same way that Junior shows us how his photography app is coming along. Life lessons can show us how his applications are coming along and new features, new ideas, because we have seen the evolution of Junior's photography app. Looking forward to seeing the same thing from life lessons as well. And as it gets closer and closer to ready, then we can go and showcase the features on this app, do a test drive, so you guys can see like this is the value that we were able to bring into the world, especially with AI helping us go a lot faster than we used to go. So shout out to Life Lessons. Really appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
All right, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of work. We're gonna have 2 working segments. We're going to jump over to working on messing around with MCP servers. Why is this one showing? Hold up. Give me a second. I thought I updated this. What's going on here? Give me a second. That's not the one I wanted. Where the heck? Hold up. What happened to that one? I have no idea where it went. Well, let me update it now. Weird. It's not the one I wanted. Let's say MCP servers for maximum development efficiency. So we get good enough. I think that is good enough for today. I don't know what happened to the one that I was working that I had earlier. All right, so unlocking hidden gems, MCP servers for dev efficiency. So if you're not familiar, MCP, Model Context Protocol, basically it is either you can have it running locally or you can have a server that has tools that are reusable. Many people can have access to it. And then you plug it into your Cloud Code, you plug it into your Gemini, you plug it into your Codex or whatever other tool that you're using, and it's able to respond and basically work that way. So let's go ahead and put up 20 minutes.
It's time to do.
Last Sunday, we were working on playing around with setting up MCP server or setting up our CLI environments for Gemini, for Codex, for Claude to connect to Jira using their MCP server, and we were able to get it to work for OpenAI's Codex and for Claude, but it looks like there wasn't one available for Gemini. So we're going to figure that out, and then I also want to see if we can connect one for GitHub Actions or for GitHub, and then we're going to see what other we're going to do a little bit of research on Gemini to see what other MCP servers could be useful for developers and see how we can get that installed. All right, so I'm going to go over to this screen over here and let's go and do a little. Is my switch not happening? What? Hold up. What is... Oh, I know what happened. All right, give me a second. Let me fix this. So annoying. So annoying. Let me go here. All right, let's go here. So I got my well, not my camera back, but I was able to get a replacement camera. So now we have our angle back. So cool. So this is from last week. I'm gonna go over and let me see if we can get an upgrade of the Gemini CLIs again, because it was not upgrading it last week. And what we saw over in our, so what do you call it? Claude was able to get the was able to connect to Jira. And let's see about Codex. I found the Jira cloud site and your account. I'm querying. The first query returned full to resolve verbose details. There are more than 50 unresolved assigned. Yeah, 51 open. Can I say what issues are assigned to me in the current sprint for the IPA project? Let me just, while you're mentioning that, Rod, I'll do it after. In the current open sprint for the IPA project, you have one issue assigned to you. Add selectors for goal editing flow. Sweet. So these two work. Let me go back to Gemini. Let me see. Before we go into the GitHub stuff, you see, this is so weird. It's telling me that there's 49 available, but every time I try to install that one, it tells me that, see, it's already installed. That's so weird. Let me see. Updates. That is weird. Gemini? Or it should be Gemini CLI. Oh, wait. Something's happening. Gemini 2. Oh, that's the Gemini app, though. Not the Gemini CLI. Update Gemini CLI. Brew upgrade Gemini CLI. See, that is so weird. It says that there is a 40. So weird. All right, anyways, let's go to, well, let's go here. I'm going to go to, let's go to chat. Let's go to here. So I want to know, so first and foremost, let's say when I'm trying to upgrade Gemini CLI on my Mac via Brew, it's only installing up to 0.46.0, but the CLI app says, it says 0.49.0 is available. Let's try that first. I'm just curious about this one because that is a bit annoying to me that it tells me that it's available. It's a classic homebrew sync lag because Gemini CLI is an npm based package under the hood. Developers push updates to npm instantly. Version 0.49 was just dropped a couple of days ago, but the official homebrew core formula repository takes a few days to get its support. But it's been more than a week though. When you run brew upgrade, the homebrew looks at the formula index, which stuck at 1.46. While the CLI app itself checks the live. Okay, if you don't want to wait for homebrew, you have two quick ways: override it globally via npm. I wonder if that's how we actually installed it in the first place. Option 2: run the latest version of instantly via npx. I'm gonna do this. Let's see if that works, because I want the latest and greatest. Welp. So much for that. Let's say that we got, let's see it through. I got this error. Let's see if we can get out of that. Classic scope name. The official package isn't published under, okay. The tool available on Homebrew is actually maintained under a different package name. All right, let's try that one instead. I kind of expect you to know this stuff, Gemini. Nope, not that either. All right, I think I'm giving up on Gemini CLI. Or I can just search it over here. Let's see. How do you install it? MCP. Quick start. Let's see. Install. That's what we just did, isn't it? I thought that's what we just did. Oh, it's at Google. So over here, we did Google that. All right, so this is what it is. Thanks a lot, Gemini. That doesn't file exist. Let's do it force. All right, forcing it. We're forcing it. Like you're gonna take this. You're gonna take this install. All right. All right, it's installed. Gemini. Let me clear out first. All right, we got the latest. MCP. Let's see what we have as our MCP. So we have our Open Viking as our MCP with 16 tools. So let's find out. Then we're going, and then if this doesn't work, we're going to go straight to GitHub. How can I install the MCP for? Well, let me start a new one. So the MCP for Jira to Gemini CLI. And if they don't have a way to do it, I'm just gonna go straight to GitHub. To install a Jira model context protocol for the Gemini CLI, you need to update the settings.json file for your Gemini CLI configuration. Really? So it doesn't really look like there is a Jira MCP server for Gemini. So I'm not gonna do that for now. Let's go. All right. So how can I add a GitHub MCP server to Claude Code, Codex, and Gemini CLI? Let's see what they have to offer for GitHub. Because those are the two main tools that you're gonna end up using is gonna be GitHub and Jira in the workplace. The GitHub MCP model context protocol server allows AI coding assistants to view, search, and manage repositories, issues, and pull requests. The official GitHub MCP servers can be hosted via Docker, hosted locally via Docker, or connected remotely via GitHub's Copilot hosted HTTP endpoint. What if you don't have? Before starting, ensure you have generated the GitHub PAT with appropriately scoped repository scopes like repo, read, org. Your bearer token. Is that how you do it? Or you can do it with, if you prefer running containerized version locally via stdio, you can use this command. Interesting. So Claude MCP add GitHub. And then you have this, and then Docker run. Interesting. Codex would be, it's like it feels like it's a little complex to add these MCP servers. Is there one for Gemini? If you're doing it via Docker. Okay. Let's start off with Claude then. Let's do. Do I want to do a? Trying to think. Let's try with Docker. Now I have to start Docker on this computer. Let's try with Docker. See what we can do with that one. And we are going to. So I have Docker up. We are going to say. I need to get a personal access token. So GitHub. Let's go to. Let's see. I wonder if I have one already. Settings. Let's do developer settings. So this is where you do it in GitHub to create a personal access token. Generate new token. Yeah. Make sure you always have two-factor authentication enabled. All right. We are in. And we're going to say MCP server token or PAT token. PAT. And we're going to say the description. This is the PAT token to access the MCP for GitHub. What's going to be? Oh, okay. I'm going to say only select repos in this case, and we can do, let me choose a test repo I could work on. Let me see. I will do. Let's go ahead and do. Let's do this one. Let's do. Let's do this one, and let's go to. I'll take this one, that one, this one, and this one, and this one. All right, so let's do these. And I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna say, let's do 60 days for this one. Add permission. We would need the permission of repo read isn't there one for like right? Issue, merge queues, issues. Not the code. Secret scanning, push protection, secret scannings alert, repository security, environments, deployments, dependabot, content, code quality, actions. I feel like I'm missing one, but let's say Read and write for pull requests. Issues, read and write. Actions, read and write. And for now, we'll leave this as that, right? So now I'm going to generate the token. I'm going to pull this out for now and say generate token. Generate token. All right, so I got my token generated, and I am going to go over to this side, and we're going to work on Claude first, right? Let's go here. And we're going to say brew upgrade Claude code. Get the latest version of Claude. All right. Now we're going to do the command that they said that we need, which is going to be this one over here. So Claude MCP add -json GitHub, and then all of the no, that's not what we're doing. We're doing the Docker one. So Docker. So basically Claude MCP add GitHub environment GitHub personal access token equals our token. Docker run and then remove it when you stop it and removing the environment, removing those details. All right, cool. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to paste that here. And now I am going to take my token and I am going to go. All right, so let me finish adding this, and then we'll go to break. So have that one, and then let me add that to see if it works. And we enter. I don't know if it did anything. Clear. Let's go back to Claude real quick. Let's see, MCP. It's trying to connect to GitHub. Oh, it's connected to GitHub. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So the Jira one. Oh, Atlassian is good. GitHub is good. OpenViking is good. The Jira one is not a good one. So cool. Well, it's connected. We'll go to break, and when we come back from break, we will test it out, see if we're able to make that connection, and then we will try the same for Codex, and then we'll try the same for Gemini. All right. So let me save this access key so I do not lose it, and then have to create a whole new one after we come back. You guys know how I am. Let me go to here. Cool. Perfect. All right. Let's go over to our first break or our second break. Let's go to break. Let's just go to break. All right. Alrighty then. Let me see what we got going on in the chat, and then we're going to get into our next topic for this afternoon. Where did my... There it goes. Cool. Life Essence says, Vibe Coding Show was great yesterday. I also like the photography app that Junior showed yesterday. Stay tuned for updates on both of those apps. I demoed plus 2 more that are on deck. My people, I love it. just so much potential for growth. Like a lot of people, they'll depend on one thing, and it's like, oh, I'm not budging, I'm not moving. But life lesson shows that just the same mindset of like, okay, how can I use these tools? What are the challenges that I see? What are the gaps I can fill? Because he said yesterday, the same, like, he saw an issue, he saw a need that he had for himself. He started building it. He's like, you know what? I could actually productize this and make it available for other people as well. So that is the mindset. That is the winning mindset. Robert says, my guy got the new crispy angle. You like that, right, Brian? You like that? You like that? Crispy, huh? Crispier than Popeye's chicken. And it says, just drown already. Gee, Mario Brown, you are so mean sometimes.
How dare you?
You are. Remember I told you yesterday you were being mean? You were being mean. Well, maybe it was Friday. You were being very, very mean the other day, Rod Brown. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into our next topic of tonight. So, cybersecurity experts are talking about how they're using AI to manipulate people and slide into their DMs and all that good stuff. Let's jump into that.
A new threat in the tech world. Hackers reportedly used Instagram's own AI chatbot to gain access to popular accounts. All they had to do was ask the chatbot for a password reset. If the chatbot asked for a selfie as proof of identity, the hackers simply used old photos. They were able to hack into the accounts of former President Obama, cosmetics giant Sephora, and more. Let's bring in Lisa Garber, cybersecurity and privacy attorney. Lisa, this is scary stuff, and it sounds like it didn't take, a degree in online engineering to make this kind of thing happen.
You're exactly right. It's another step in the eternal security versus innovation and efficiency argument that has been taking place in the field of artificial intelligence. This wasn't an elegant, sophisticated hack. This was something that was able to happen with a simple prompt injection. The hackers were able to manipulate the artificial intelligence platform, which happened to be the customer service center for Meta, and allowed you to change passwords.
I want to play something from Holman Jenkins. He's the Wall Street Journal's Business World columnist. Here's what he has to say about artificial intelligence potentially as a weapon.
Listen to what the AI people are telling us. Their latest models, their most advanced models, they can't release to the public because these things are weapons. They're just too dangerous to put into the hands of the public or to let into the hands of our enemies. So I think in the future you're going to have to accept that the highest end AI is basically a government controlled tool for use against in international rivalries.
That's another scary prospect that AI, some of these new AI engines are too powerful to just release to the public.
I'm still waiting for proof of all this powerful AI models that they can't release to the public. Neither here nor there. But a couple of initial thoughts, and I want to know what you guys think about this as well. The whole Instagram hack where you're talking to the chatbot and you just show a picture. How was this not tested? How is this not verified? Now, it could be the team working on this feature, they are very new to AI, and like, so they don't know how to test the chatbots. They don't know. So it's like, because I'm just thinking, how did facial rec come into place, or the selfie come into place via the chatbot? Like, wouldn't that exist before the whole chatbot portion of it? So it kind of reminds me, if you remember the TV show 24, right? Where Jack Bauer, shout out to Jack Bauer, my favorite semi superhero of all time. But always in a crisis within 24 hours, right? But you know how they would like chop off somebody's finger to use as a fingerprint authentication and stuff like that. And you've seen it in TV shows like, oh, it's the person they got shot up or something, and then they take their fingers to unlock their phones to get all their information. So I'm just wondering what was the testing protocol that went through with this, because that doesn't seem like it's an AI issue or a chatbot issue. It sounds like a software development and testing issue. They didn't have the proper test cases in place, the proper mechanisms to make sure that a picture of a selfie would change the password, right? And for that to happen to former President Barack Obama and all these other people, that is a bit wild.
We've already seen that many of the AI algorithms, large language models already in development and already out there for some of the Fortune 100 businesses and in the government are extremely powerful. The world is trying to figure out what the ethical implications are, the safety implications. In the United States, where big tech argues for less regulation, and we have differences according to Trump's latest executive orders on AI and how to set up guardrails, we can see in this Meta debacle that the problem still stands. There are problems with how the rush to deploying AI agents and AI chatbots is causing this kind of issue with authentication. We can only imagine how high up the problem could go.
Well, obviously, a lot of us are concerned about our own social media accounts, and you have some tips to help people prevent this kind of hacking from occurring. Number one is enable multi-factor authentication. Audit your privacy and security settings. Use passkeys. Be critical of new friend-follower requests, and lie to the security questions. Let's take that last one first. What do you mean by that?
Yes, I love that. I'm a mom and I tell my kids not to lie, but you should lie to the security questions, meaning make up the answers. What was your mother's maiden name? What year were you born? What was the first street you lived on? Make up answers only you would know, because hackers, people that are excellent at social engineering, are going to surf the web and find out as much as they can about you to create a profile and make sure that they can try to answer those questions accurately. So if you lie, they won't know what the answers are. The trick is you have to remember them.
And use
that was what I was thinking. I'm like, the trouble is actually remembering. Maybe you can have a spreadsheet and stuff like that that has like these are the answers for this platform, because I will forget even when I'm honest on these platforms. I still forget the answers, so it's a mess. It is a mess.
Passkeys is another one of your suggestions. How does that differ from a password?
Yes, so passkeys are using cryptography to really articulate more meaningful passwords and to block access better. The whole point is to use a third-party system to help you with your security. And that's one of the issues with multi-factor authentication too. MFA actually blocked some of the hack attempts in this latest Meta breach.
True.
And that's where you get a secondary code either to your email or your cell phone, but there are actually third-party vendors, including Google, which offers passkeys. They also offer authenticator apps that you can use. So definitely turn that option on. Be aware of what your settings are. We have to know.
All right, Lisa Garber, good advice there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be sure to like.
Thank you. So good catch, y'all. I didn't even see when I muted, but what I was saying was that I have to do some more research into the passkeys because I see them pop up, but I'm still not too familiar with how the passkeys work with the like you can do it with fingerprint or device if it's device based. So I still have to do some more research on how the passkeys actually work. But I do use the Authenticator app, especially the one from Google. I have multiple ways to authenticate, like with GitHub, because they have their the GitHub app that has us like a authenticator, but then also I have it through the Google Authenticator app. I remember like more than 10 years ago, I got introduced to the Google Authenticator app because I had to log into, I think it was Amazon, and that was like my first instance of using it. And now you see a lot more companies are getting into the Google Authenticator app. Really, really important stuff. Let me know your thoughts on this whole Meta debacle with Instagram accounts getting hacked, including former President Barack Obama. His Instagram got hacked. And through a password reset. Who would have thought the password reset to using a using a selfie? Here's a question. Let me know in the chat. All right. What selfie of former President Barack Obama do you think was used to log into his Instagram account? Which one? Maybe the one in the tan suit. The ones that drive Republicans crazy, that tan suit. Talk about having things not having work to do. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about this whole debacle that happened with Instagram, and it could easily happen to any other platform. I think it was more of a software development and software testing issue as opposed to an AI chatbot issue, because guess what? Just because you develop a chatbot doesn't mean it doesn't get tested. And that's what we do here every single day. We make sure the things that we're building, that they are actually safe and that they actually work the way that we intended them to work, as opposed to just throwing things out there in the wild. And that's why it is still very, very important to have seasoned software engineers in the age of AI. Let me know your thoughts below. Drop me a comment. Do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content as well. Go to techcoachrap.dev. Join us for our vibe coding shows. Join us for our Scrum Nights. Get access to Resume Flow, Tech Barbarians coaching portal, and the Speaker Precisely app so that you can revolutionize every aspect of your life over at techcoachralph.dev. All right, let me go and check the chat real quick, and then we're going to get into our last working segment. Let me see what we got. Life and says, I remember hearing about this 2 weeks ago. Yep, this was a real thing. I thought it was hilarious. Clearly, there was not security approach when Meta implemented their AI. Ugh. That is wild. I thought about doing a breakdown of like the history of Meta and at the start of Mark Zuckerberg, how Facebook was limited to college students when they first released, making like people like the FOMO of Facebook when it first came out, because it's not fair, it's only for college students. And now how it's grown into acquiring Instagram, acquiring WhatsApp, getting their AI, to see like so I'm just curious. I just want to learn more about Meta. So I might do a software exploration in the next few weeks about it to see how they became who they are. But yeah, it's just wild. Like, where was the testing around this? It was crazy. It says, okay, now this Holman Jenkins clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. Now the media is selling fear about AI. It's ridiculous. If they restrict US made AI, people will use Chinese models. That is what we're going to be talking about on Fridays. The Bug Bite, because if they restrict these models, you open the door for these other countries. And who knows what they have baked into their AI. I remember when DeepSeek first came out like 2 years ago, and people were like, don't use DeepSeek, or if you're gonna use it, don't be connected to the internet. I'm like, what from me does China really want? What can they take? Anyways, that's a whole nother story. Life says, with Chinese models, all you need is a credit card and no questions asked. U.S. model to security probe down to your citizenship to determine if you can access it or not. Look, they're going to have U.S. citizen-based models. They're going to have U.S. residence-based models. They're going to have TPS recipients models. They're going to have a model for illegal immigrants. There's going to be a model for all sorts of levels. Vacation visa models. So that way, if you're on the vacation visa model, you can only access this. So you're like, oh, how can I work here? Oh, no, you are not allowed to even ask that question. You are not allowed to work on a vacation visa, student visa. There's going to be a bunch of models based on your rank in the United States of America. Very good point. Life says, 24 was a great series with Jack Bauer, one of my favorite of all time. 24 and The Wire, my two favorite series of all time. Holster your weapon. That was Jack Bauer's main line. Holster your weapon. Holster your weapon. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. You got my guy Junior Largy in the building. What up, Junior?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going on? Says, I'm busy rebuilding a transmission and it's a lot of work. Junior, you are a trooper. You are a soldier. For you to be rebuilding a transmission, what type of car are you rebuilding the transmission on? Out of curiosity, what type of car are you rebuilding on? Because transmissions are no joke. I had my first car that I paid with my own money. Well, with my student loan money, neither here nor there. Was a Dodge Intrepid. 1993 Dodge Intrepid. It was such a beautiful car. Although, never mind. Not gonna go into that details. But the transmission started going out on me. Oh my God, it was a mess. It was a mess, that transmission. But I got the transmission replaced a few times until I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. Life says that is actually ingenious to lie about the security questions. The only problem is if you forget and it's not documented, you're up the creek. That's because even when I tell the truth, I'll forget sometimes. I'm like, how? Like, if they ask you like, oh, what city did you grow up in? I'm like, did I have the city with a space, without a space? Did I have it in lowercase, not in lowercase? Did I say just the overall city? Did I say specifically with the city? And if you haven't accessed the platform in a long time, you're like, oh, I don't know. Let's see. Yep, I would thank you guys for that. I was definitely muted. Appreciate that. Let me see. It says I've done some work on my cars in the past year. If there are any transmission issues, it's time for me to get it. You and me both, Magnetar. You and me both. But you got to understand, Junior, he loves this type of stuff. So he's probably recording a video about it as well that he's going to be releasing. He's going to be dropping to us on the BHG Garage channel. Is that the channel? I'm trying to see if I can get it right. Is it BHG Garage? Let me see. It's probably by His Grace Garage. BHG Garage. Yep, I got. You see, I know Junior. He's probably gonna be dropping a video on the BHG Garage by His Grace Garage, on whichever car he's rebuilding the transmission. Shout out to my guy Junior. Maggie says no one likes that tan suit. All right, I gotta pull it. Let me pull it up. Obama. Because I never really followed anything like that. Obama tan suit. Imagine if he should have wore the tan suit at the opening of his presidential library. So let's see. All right, this is the tan suit. So this is a tan suit. What's wrong with the tan suit? Why people didn't like the tan suit? Wore a tan suit at the White House press conference. What's wrong with the tan suit? It looks perfectly fine to me. What's wrong with the tan? I don't know. I'm not even gonna get involved into this. I think the tan suit looks perfectly fine. I don't know why people hated the tan suit. Maggie says, I mean, I personally wouldn't wear that either. Oh my goodness. Don't be so negative. It's all a beautiful process. Nothing to be afraid of. Junior, It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It says not negative. I just didn't plan on going that far, but I do want to keep the Charger. You got a Charger? That's nice. I want a Challenger. I want an old school Challenger. It says you can replace the transmission, then they sell them. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Junior says, me and my father, the first time doing it, 1987 Toyota Camry. Ooh, one of those old school. Says, I used to want an Intrepid. I loved it. I love the Intrepid. I want to learn how to rebuild a transmission. I will wait for Junior's tutorial to come out on his channel on how to rebuild the transmission, but I am not rebuilding a transmission myself. I am sorry, not sorry. Definitely get another transmission. That car is nice and clean. It says just got a little over 81,000 miles on the Charger. It says that's a new car. Yep, facts. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our last working segment of tonight before we get up and out of here. So, let's go ahead and put up our last 20.
Let's go! Let's go!
And we're jumping back into the MCP server. So conflicting scopes. It says, what does that mean? Server GitHub is defined in multiple scopes with different endpoints. Oh, do we have a GitHub MCP already? Interesting. What if let me see if we go down to here. So this one is running let me do a Docker PS. So there goes our GitHub MCP running right here. Let's say view tools. So let me see. Let's see, doctor. So running the /doctor command, maybe we'll do a video about that, but running the /doctor command in Claude tries to fix issues. Remote control requires a Claude AI subscription to sign into your account. All right, MCP issues. Conflicting scopes. Keep the correct endpoint and remove the other. So I'm going to ask Claude, how do we have conflicting scopes for GitHub MCP? While that is happening, I'm going to go over to here. And we got the Claude one. Let's do Codex next. So using the CLI, so we can do basically the same exact command that we did for Claude to get one added for so the question is though, if the MCP already exists, can't we piggyback off of the existing MCP or the existing Docker container? I'm gonna ask Gemini that. And then for Gemini, would it be the same? No, so Gemini, you have to set up the you would have to set up the they make Gemini so complicated. All right, so I'm gonna ask, what if I'm running? What if I'm running the MCP server or via Docker with Claude? Couldn't I just piggyback off of the existing Docker container for Codex and or Gemini? And short answer is no, not with the basic configuration used before. The Docker run -I uses Studio standard input output transport mode. Under this setup, the AI client spans the Docker container as a direct sub. Ah, okay. So not in this case, but in general, we should be able to set up a Docker container running the MCP for GitHub. Just not in this case because of how we had it set up. So that's fine. We'll go ahead and do another one for, we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole in this case. I'm gonna go and copy this. And I am gonna go over here. And we are going to paste that command. And let me go full screen for a second. Let's see if we can get this started with all right. Enter. Added global MCP server for GitHub. Let's clear that out. And let's go back to Codex. And starting MCP server, let's do MCP. And we got GitHub unsupported, Atlassian, OAuth, auth unsupported. All right, let's see. So let's see what PRs are currently open across all projects. Let's do that. Let's do one. All right, so fair enough. I said projects, really repos. I'll treat projects as GitHub repositories visible in your account and look for currently open pull requests across them. First, I'm checking the authenticated GitHub identity so I can scope the search sensibly. GitHub MCP connection needs authorization before I can query your repositories. Ran GitHub failed to. Why would that do that? That is weird that it would do that if because we passed the PAT. That is weird. So to authorize your GitHub MCP server, visit GitHub's device login page. What is the device login page? The local GHCLI is also logged in as, but its token is invalid. GitHub device login page. Where are you supposed to do that? I don't know where the GitHub. Where do we find the GitHub's device login page. Okay. Probably not the best thing to be doing. All this will be revoked anyways. Which one do you want to keep, the hosted or the one on your local? I want to try the local. Okay. So this, all right, so now on the side of, we might have to end up doing the same thing for, all right, so now we're done. Okay. Okay, I connected the account. Now what? I retried, but still session doesn't see the GitHub auth yet. The GitHub MCP still asks for device auth with the code. Huh. Please make sure the device says author. It does say that. So, but I don't want the GH auth. I want to use specifically the MCP. I want to use MCP. I'll replace it later. Let's go ahead and stop Claude. Put it back. All right, so now if we say, how many PRs are open and assigned to me? All right, so in Codex then, using GitHub MCP, I found 12 open PRs across repos owned by, so why, okay, so this is accurate, but why, so what were the auth issues you were having before? Did I stop and come back into it? So the MCP did work. Let's see that. All right, so we have the same device login that we just did. A different code. All right. I am now connected. Yes. Sweet. Look at that. Got it. All right. No, we don't want it to continue any of them. Let's go and try Gemini at this point. So we got this one. So we got Codex and Claude Code working. What about Gemini? So to do it with Gemini, we are gonna go to Gemini CLI integrates with MCP servers via global properties or project-specific settings. Locate your Gemini CLI configuration file, usually in your global user profile under Gemini CLI settings. All right, let's try that. Let's get out of here. And we're gonna do Vim. Gemini CLI. Ooh. Settings. All right. All right, cool. So let's go over here. And I'm going to say I for insert. And looking for, so here, here, here. And we're going to say comma. And we are going to copy the code from, oops, from GitHub. And now we have to update our personal access token. And let me go to full screen for now while I add this token in. Oh, wait a second. I think I made a mistake when I was setting up Claude because I updated this right here, but that's saying environment variable. That's setting an environment variable. Okay, I see my mistake. That was stupid of me. All right, so basically, here's the mistake I made when I was setting up Claude, and probably when I was setting up Microsoft, the one for Codex as well. This is setting the environment variable, like the name of the environment variable that we want to pass through, and this is where, okay, so I see my mistake. All right, I will fix that. Let's go to, yeah, I made a mistake. Definitely made a mistake. Let's go to, let me go here for a second. All right, if we go back here and we say Gemini. Oh, let me see if I have a mistake. I don't see the error. Double quotes. Should be good. Line 32. Property name in JSON at 620 line 32. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Um, 32. I don't see this error. This looks good. Let me see. Oh, I think I see what it is. Mm-hmm. And then this one is that. Okay, got that one. Let me see. Got that one.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
Got that one. Got that one. Got that one. Wait, something's missing. There's oh, I see what happened. All right, so okay. Okay, so trying to fix some JSON here. That's not right. Oh, okay, that's right. All right, let's go here. Gemini. Dang it. Stupid MCP. Or stupid. I don't know. Gemini is making this complicated because now you have to use this. You have to use this JSON format, and it's so messy. But whatever. But we do have it set. We do have it set up. We do. I need to fix this. Let me something real quick. Oh wait, no, I did it right for. Not so much. Not so much. Let me try it one more time. I'm gonna do it one more time. Clear. And I am going to copy that. Go full screen real quick. Okay. And clear. And I'm gonna try it in Claude one more time. Let's get this out the way. Get that out the way. So I'll say this: Gemini is not the most friendly to use with MCP servers because you have to do everything through the through the JSON file, and it can become quite messy. If we could have just did it via a CLI command like we're doing for Codex and for Claude, it would be a lot easier. So this, do that. MCP server GitHub already exists in the local config. Oh my God. Let's see if we can go to Claude. Yes, /MCP. Let's say GitHub. Let's say, can I just get rid of it? Can you delete the GitHub MCP? Just because I want to try it with the sending it in a different format to see if that's going to work. And then we can wrap it up. So Claude MCP remove and then the name of it. Perfect. All right. So now I'm going to stop it. And I am going to go to here. Oh, God. I can just go up to my last one. Clear. All right, let's check this out one last time. Claude, yes, I trust it. MCP. GitHub. I want to enable it. And now I ask, let's say Codex. Skip. What enhancement? What PRs are currently open? What PRs are currently open? I don't know if it's saving the authentication from the last time, but let me load the tools. All right, that's good. Tool used, nice. You currently have 2 open PRs. Speak precisely. Sample pull requests. Let's see what this one says. Oh, Claude asks for every little thing you need to approve, which there's ways around it, just annoying. Sweet. Found them both. Found them both. Nice, nice. This goes pretty hand in hand with the video they're going to be doing on Wednesday on how a software lead at GitHub, they use automation to streamline their workflow and make them a lot more efficient. So we're just trying to figure out all these little tools so that we can be a well-oiled machine. All right. Let's go ahead. Let me see what's in the chat, and then we're going to get into our last story about Slate and their EV vehicles. Let me see. Levin says, about to head out to the beach. Headed to the beach. Another great show. Catch y'all on Tuesday or on the Discord. Shout out to Life Lessons. Enjoy the beach, which leads me to ask, what state do you live in? You must live in a coastal state if you're. Oh wait, did you tell me it was it Tampa? I think you might have said Tampa. But shout out to you. Enjoy the beach. Junior says, definitely a great show as usual. Thank you, Junior. And Magnus says, I've been using Gemini a lot more than ChatGPT. Might be due to limited amount of messages I can send to ChatGPT. I know that Gemini has introduced limits as well. I reviewed that last week, Wednesday maybe. But yeah, Gemini did introduce that as well. And Magnus says, just don't use Grok. Some people are into those type of things, Magnetar. Some people are into the grok, right? Some people are into grok, And yes, I do believe it was. Yes, I believe it was Tampa. Now that you mentioned it, so that is awesome. Shout out to all my Floridians and my Floridians by invite Junior. Appreciate you all. All right, let's jump into this last one. Speaking of cars, there is a company named Slate who are making EVs, electrical vehicles, and they're somewhat modular. What? Modular EVs? Let's find out.
We're here at Slate Auto's new design center in Los Angeles, and the company's having a coming out party this week where it's releasing its $24,000, $950 starting price. And with that, it's also allowing reservation holders to actually be able to place their orders.
We really want to offer all these reservation holders and many more that are hearing about Slate for the first time to be able to place pre-orders. And then pre-orders are just the beginning of this fun process playing out.
These orders are expected to start shipping in the fourth quarter, and then Slate is planning to scale up from that.
Our full year capacity down in Warsaw, Indiana is about 150,000 units. Our break-even, rough order of magnitude is 80-ish thousand units.
This company kind of came out a year ago, and it has heavy backing from many Amazon executives, including Jeff Bezos and former executives, as well as the major owner of the LA Dodgers. And the whole business has heavy backing.
Did he say Jeff Bezos' name wrong?
Break even, rough order of magnitude is 80-ish thousand units.
This company kind of came out a year ago, and it has heavy backing from many Amazon executives, including Jeff Bezos and former executives.
It said Bezos. Really?
As well as the major owner of the LA Dodgers. And the whole business plan for this vehicle is it to be a bare bones vehicle, the most minimalistic vehicle I can imagine in decades, actually. And that includes the crank down window and crank up, as well as a very small, very limited driver information screen. You can take your iPhone in there and put it right in the phone holder. You can do an iPad, and you can even connect it to the speakers that are also optional in the vehicle, or you can have it just playing on your phone. So it's a very different type of vehicle than we're used to seeing nowadays.
All right. So basically, this is the Spirit Airlines of cars. The Spirit Airlines of vehicles. Remember like, for example, the let's say a Nissan Versa, well, around the time they first came out, like 2010, 2011, where it was like a $10,000 car. Now they're like $22,000, but it was a $10,000 car, and they barely had AC. You had to roll down the vehicles, you had to pop up the lock and everything like that, and it was like a $10,000 vehicle. Now they have the EV version of it from Slate. What do you guys think so far? What do you guys think about this coming out party for Slate, for their quote unquote modular EV? And by modular, if I get the crank vehicles, I should be able to have a module where I can just say, all right, now I want to be able to, I want to upgrade. So let me swap out the cranker for the automatic windows, right?
We're actually going to make money on every car we sell because we've really sweated the details on how to architect the car and truck differently than others have. We've sweated the details on how to, make the manufacturing process much simpler and much more efficient.
Once you do the wrap, the SUV kit, the wheels, you can get something like this for, let's say, low 30s. Everything is meant for someone to be able to kind of style and do yourself. You've got a plastic composite on the exterior, which is lighter weight. It's not as durable as metal or aluminum, which a lot of vehicles are, but it's meant to be able to, you can actually take these off if you'd like.
Wait, what is that?
It's meant for someone to be able to kind of style and do yourself. You've got a plastic composite on the exterior, which is lighter weight. It's not as durable as metal or aluminum, which a lot of vehicles are, but it's meant to be able to, you can actually take these off if you'd like and replace them very easily.
We have a
Oh, that's funny. So, I mean, that is a way to get a paint job. So basically this sounds like, the Slate vehicle sounds like a plastic box enclosing batteries.
different cost structure and a different business model than other automakers have. The fact that people will have a chance to customize their vehicle, but that's not a one-time opportunity. It isn't just they have to make the final decision about what their truck looks like at purchase. They can change the wrap every quarter. They can add new accessories for years to come. There's never been a business model like this before in automotive. And because it's so customer driven and customer choice, and because it allows us to make money in multiple ways, on the truck, on accessories, on wraps, and all the other traditional ways, I think those two pieces together give us a really great chance to be.
I think they are targeting a demographic for EVs. I think they're targeting a demographic for EVs. Do you see the colors that they have for these EVs? It allows us to make
money in multiple ways, on the truck, on accessories, on wraps, and all.
Look at the colors they're targeting. I think they're going after demographics here. I think they're going after demographics here.
The other traditional ways. I think those two pieces together give us a really great chance to be successful.
Throw some 22s on your plastic vehicle, you know, that has the, so let's put it like this, right? We're gonna have some 22s on this Slate vehicle, and we can switch out, we can have a new look for our car every single day of the week. Then we can mix it, so we can have that back panel be this color, we can have the front panel be that color, 22s with spinners.
Well, there's no truck out there that can start as an SUV and go to a pickup, or start as a pickup and.
I do like that part though. I like the part where you can just throw a hood up on there. Well, no, I take that back. There's plenty of cars that, because like a lot of these pickup trucks, they have the hood that you can put on top of it, right? That's technically going into a semi SUV.
Go to an SUV.
Unless when you like that back portion right there can be taken out and you put some seats in the back.
Behind me is a version of the SUV, which actually has capacity for 5 passengers. As you can see, it has a rear seat just like any other vehicle would have with 5 passengers.
Isn't the Jeep Wrangler semi-modular as well? I thought the Jeep Wrangler is like, so it's supposed to be like a modular vehicle, but it's not an EV, of course.
But one of the things that might be challenging for the company in general is that it is 2 doors. However, this vehicle, you actually have to do it on the passenger side. The 2-door market in general has literally diminished in sales quite a bit. And 4-door variant isn't out of the realm of possibility. They said not yet, and that they are launching with this vehicle. But having a 4-door variant would open it up to a lot more buyers and a lot more accessibility for people trying to get in and out of the vehicle.
Our goal, you know, it's an ambitious goal, would be that we are free cash flow and EBITDA positive before the end of 2027. If we're able to pull that off, no other automotive company's been able to do that before. So it's ambitious, it's gonna take a lot of work. We're really excited about the balance sheet we have, the investors we have. We feel like we're in a great position. I think we're gonna constantly take a look at what our options are. Certainly going public will be one. I think 2027, you know, is probably too soon in my book. I think we'll wanna really make sure that we're launching and scaling the business well. But yeah, beyond that, I think we'll have a number of options, and going public is definitely one of them.
What do you guys think? What do you think about the Slate EV? You know what? Let's look at some pictures real quick. Let's see if we can find some images of the Slate EV. Oh, Gemini. I'm so used to going Gemini now. Google. Let's see, Slate EV images. because I'd like to see the inside of it as well. So let's go over to here. And what in the world is that? $208,000 for this car and it's used. Anyways, Slate, let's see. Let's see, Slate. Let's take a look at this picture. All right, for $25,000, right? I would probably get one of these. Would you? All right, would you get one of these Slate EV vehicles? Now, I would not want it to be with the roll down window, so I'd probably have to pay a little bit upgrade. I have an idea. Let's take a look at these cars real quick, right? Some of these, right? But let's go to Slate's website. Slate EV. Let's sort of pre-order, right? So let's price one of. Oh, did y'all just see that happen? It's like a transformer. Whoa. 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 All right. See, the CNBC video did not do this justice. This is looking a lot better now. I still want my 22 spinners, but really? Let me see, build and shop. Let's go build and shop. Do I have to sign into build and shop too? Build and shop. Now with 205 miles of range. That's not bad. Start designing. Can I start designing? All right, let's see what we got here. So the blank slate, 25,000. The square back SUV, the fastback SUV, and the open air, not ready yet. So let's do the blank slate. Now what? So wraps. So let's turn this around a little bit. All right. Let's say wraps. $500 for the wrap. Ooh, let's see. Which one do you guys, which wrap do you guys like? Which wrap do you guys like? Let's go with this one. Let's go with, nah. I don't like none of these colors. Ooh, gloss. Ooh, let's go with matte. Let's go with this one. Decal. There's a decal you could choose. Oh. Let's do this one. That doesn't really match. Let's do this one. Ooh, lime. Let's go with lime green, actually. Did that. Oh, come on. What's going on here? Their makers look. Oh, okay. Let's go to. Let me change the color again. Wrap. Can I get that lime green color? Ooh, there we go. Lime green it is. Decal. Let's do the lime green decal. Add to design. Back to maker. We got our lime green here. We get our lime green here. Add to design. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. Now we're rocking and rolling. All right, that's a bit much. All right, let's keep going. Lighting. I'd go with the X lights. Actually, no, I'll go with these lights. Add to design. Come on. All right. Roof racks. So I thought you said I could turn this car into a. But I could turn it into a SUV. Ooh, I like this. Let's go with. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. Utility. Ooh, they have the little thingy on the back, the cover. Definitely want one of these. Solar. What does that mean? Let's get one of these. Appearance. Oh, the grill plate. So they're really trying to market this to a certain demographic. So that's what I'm getting out of it. Ooh, let's see if they have 22 spinners on this. 20 inches lowering kit. Let's get one of these wheels. 20s. Gotta get 20s. Off vehicle. What's that supposed to mean? Battery. Let's throw a battery generator in there too. What do you guys think about my car? Oh, wait a second. There's fancy seats too? Let's get a couch up in there. Wait, what? I don't know what that means. All right, we're good. Let's go look at my car. Wait. Where's my? Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Inside. Look at these knobs. Wait a second. Where's my features? I want more features. Night. What y'all think about my car? Is there a total price on this? See your design summary. $35,000. Well, how can I want to get an actual, I wanted to get a hood too. Let me see. Am I missing? I'd get one of these. Oh, I'd get one of these. Open air. Add to design. Open air kit will be added, will be removed. So in order to get this one, you need that. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh, that's not bad. I would get this plastic car. That's not bad at all. Huh. What do you guys think about my plastic slate car that has roll up windows, roll down windows, and you see the roll up window right here? Roll up window. What do you think about it? You think I should look into it? Do you think I should do a pre-order for one of these Slate vehicles and have my plastic car ready to ship? What do you guys think? What do you guys think about my lime green Slate vehicle? I like the latest version with the open air design, especially in South Florida. What are your thoughts? Drop me a comment. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content as well. Go to techcoachralph.dev. Join us for Vibe Code and Chill. Join us for our Scrum Nights. Join us to get access to Resume Flow, Tech Careers Coaching Portal, and the Speak Precisely app over at techcoachralph.dev. All righty then. Let's go over and see what the comments have to say. You guys are so mean. Why are you guys so mean to Slate? Let me see. Rod Brown says Grok is scary. That was a coming out party, all right? Yeah, so it's a coming out party for the cars. Says, bruh, people ain't ready for crank up windows. I had to crank up windows in my first car, which was a 92 Acura Integra. Was that two-door? Was the Acura Integra two-door or four-door, Rod Brown? Life Lesson says, I heard this as I was walking out the door. Poor play on words. Says, Slate, the car where you literally pay for everything and we give you nothing. You can't make this up. Well, Life Lessons, Spirit was around for X amount of years, and you know, that's how they went out in a big bang. But I mean, it worked for Spirit for a while. Says, please let this go. We do not need. Thank you, Magnetar. Says, so my car is made of plastic. Yes, plastic. But here's a bright side. Here's the bright side, Rod Brown. If somebody hits your car, you can just take off the plate. You just unscrew it. Take a screwdriver, a drill, unscrew it, and put another one in. So you don't have to pay the repair shop a bunch of money. Except for if you have frame damage, of course. But for the most part, you should be all right. It's not like you don't want to get into an accident with that vehicle. I mean, you don't want to get into an accident with any vehicle, to be honest with you, right? So it's wearing on me. I'm starting to like it a little bit more. It says, don't get into an accident with Slate. They should deem it as a death trap. I mean, there's many things that we do that can be considered as death traps, all right? It says, makes me want to build a. So all right. We're not getting a lot of fans of the plastic Slate car. I tend to fancy it. Looking at the customization, I am a fan of modular customization. All right, so that's just me. Robert says, let's bring back. Wasn't there a song about spinners? I'm riding spinners. Let me see. Hold on. Am I off here? Wasn't there a song about spinners? Let me see. Spinners. There is by 36 Mafia. Yeah, I knew there was. Came out in 2000. All right, here's a pop quiz. Pop quiz for you guys. Do you know who made spinners on rims popular? Where was it first introduced on a mass scale that made everybody want spinners? Pop quiz for the chat. Where were spinners made popular? Or who made spinners popular? Curious to hear what your thoughts are about that one. Let's see. Says, Rob, we can make a rap video for King Snitcher song with those spinners. Facts. See, you guys see what I mean? Robert says, yes, Jeep Wrangler is semi-modular. My neighbor has two, and they interchange the back all the time. That's what I thought. Let's see. Robert says, keeping my eye on this for investment purposes. I mean, is that like investing in Spirit Airline though? I don't know. Magnetar says DMX, and it says, nah, I'm good. So Magnetar is not a fan. Magnetar is not a fan of the plastic modular EV vehicles. He says, I'll let some other people buy it at first, and then I'll buy it if it's good. Maybe, most likely not. Aww. Junior, I have a hard time seeing you driving an EV vehicle. You just, for some reason, you just don't seem like the type that would be EV friendly. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I just see it as a tough sell to get Junior to buy an EV vehicle. That's just me. That is just me. Robert says, I'm not buying one, but I might invest in the company if it does well. Robert says 2-door all black with 18-inch multi-G rim. I don't know what is multi-G. Let me see. Multi-G rims. What is multi-G rims? Oh, these are multi. Those are nice. Those are nice. Those look really, really good on Honda Civics. Honda Civics hatchback or coupe. I'm not a fan of Honda Civic sedans, but hatchback or coupes, those would look really, really good. Let me see. Somewhere in Florida, definitely Florida. You says I would definitely drive an EV, but I will not be pushing for a Green New Deal. In honor of the Green New Deal, I am going to play this soundbite specifically.
How dare you?
In honor of the Green New Deal. See, you guys are wrong. Spinners were not made popular or famous in Florida. I believe it was New York. And the person that everybody started imitating after they saw the spinners was, if I remember correctly, Latrell Sprewell from when he was in New York Knicks. On it might have been like How I'm Living or MTV Cribs or something like that, but that's where spinners took off. Not Cash Money. It was Latrell Sprewell. Let me see if I can find it. Latrell. Do you guys remember Latrell Sprewell? You see, look at that. The first thing I type, Latrell, I just put Latrell, and it shows Latrell Sprewell rims. Latrell Sprewell spinners. That is who made it popular. Sprewells are iconically early 2000 spinner rims that continue to rotate via ball bearing after the vehicle stopped. While he didn't invent them, NBA Sprewell popularized the wheels, originally made by Dave & Wheels, by showcasing them on MTV Cribs in 2001. See? Look at, I know this. Maybe because I am Floridian, I know this, but that's what made them popular. That is what made them popular. Let me see. Really on the shoes. That's a bit much. That is a bit much. See this one. Anyways. Told you. You guys failed the pop quiz. 0. All right. Let me see. Cash Money. Don't say fabulous. What? Latrell got it from Florida though and brought it to NY. It doesn't matter where he got it. Look, I asked who popularized it. All right. And it was probably from, I would say it was California he got it from. Now I have to find out. Now, see, Rod Brown, I'm trying to get out of here. You're taking me down these rabbit holes. Let me see. Where is see car culture. Sprewell famously opened a custom auto shop, Sprewell Motorsports, in Southern California, selling the iconic spinning wheel rims. Dada Shoes. Sprewell partnered with Dada Footwear to create the Dada Supreme spinners. Weird. The Sprewell name became universally synonymous with spinners craze, cementing itself in hip hop lyrics and popular culture of the bling era. I'm pretty sure it came out from, let me see, Davin Wheels spinners origin. Let me see. Davin Wheels originators, the iconic spinners continuous motion wheels, was founded in 1998. David Folks Jr. Let me see. Where did it originate? Where it doesn't say where it originated. Folk conceptualized the free spinning rims by using ball bearings in 1990 as a class project at Minneapolis College in Art Design. It doesn't say where it took off, but it wasn't Florida though. It wasn't Florida. You know what, Rod Brown, you get one of these two.
How dare you?
Trying to put that on us. Trying to put that on it. Although we ran it up in Florida. We had 26s on Honda Civics. 26 on Honda Civics with spinners on there. Yes, we did it. But we did not We were not the ones who originated it, all right? So shout out to the spinners. Shout out to the spinners. I would definitely put that on a Slate vehicle, all right? Let me see. The dude, yes, the dude who choked his coach. Yes, that was the Trust Bureau. He choked when he was in Golden State. PJ Carlissimo, that was the coach. It says, you can't talk about failing quizzes. You failed every quiz I gave and still haven't answered the one I recently posted. Magnetar, why do you got to bring up the past? Why do you we're talking about today, not yesterday's quiz that I failed. I'm talking about today's quiz, and you guys failed miserably, all right? I mean, if it came from MTV Cribs and Pimp My Ride era, then Calais sounds about right. Just saying. Anyways, well, that is it for today. Hopefully you guys had an amazing time. I had a great time. Learned about MCPs for GitHub, getting them connected. Gemini, I love Gemini, just not with their CLI. Their CLI is a pain in my you-know-what. But we had a great time, learned a lot. We learned about this Slate Auto vehicle and see if we can put 27s. No more, 26s are outdated. 27s on this Slate vehicle with the roll-up windows and the plastic body parts. At least if you put them on 26s, if you get into an accident, at least they'll be hitting your spinners and not necessarily your actual car, all right? So that's my thoughts. Do me a favor on your way out. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notifications so you know every time we go live and drop new content as well. TechCoach.dev. Join us for Vibe Coding Chills. Join us for our Scrum Nights. Get access to Tech Brains Coaching Portal, the Speak Precisely app, and Resume Flow so you can get everything situated, everything worked out so you can get the job that you want to get. Remember, tomorrow, Candid Conversations. We're talking about failure, stop fearing failure, how to win. Be back live on Tuesday and throughout the rest of the week. That's it. That's everything. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday. Until next time, Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
Flawless victory.
Gotta take a little time to read this output. I better check between the lines before I blindly push to production. In my eye, there's been syntax and pain. I don't know if I can debug it again. Now this code base I must climb feels like the whole app's on my shoulders. Through the AI's prompt design, I need to scale before we're older. I won't accept what it just wrote without inspecting every line of code. I wanna know what good is. Experience will show me. I gotta judge what good is. The architecture knows it. Does it fit the system? Oh, I wanna know what good is. The dumbest question we debate is whether bots will take our places. But what kind of death does it elevate? The one who reads what it generates. Can't stop now, the prompt went so far, but we gotta meet the company's bar. Now this logic I must test, ensure the standards we've selected. I won't just hit merge and rest. The user needs must be respected. Does it match the security model's frame? If it crashes now, I'm the one to blame. I wanna know what Bye.